Let me bring it up. We use the live trade callouts here. This was my scalping session yesterday. I had a monster scalping session yesterday, and this was pretty much just all just with price action and kind of just knowing where price will go. So yeah, if you're kind of interested in either scalping, swing trading, day trading, we do all that in here. So just make sure to give this Discord a look. Hello everyone, welcome to Lore of the Coins. Today we're going to go over a technical analysis of XRP. So I'll be kind of setting up a swing trade here for XRP. Usually when I swing trade, I like to trade on the 4 hour. That's my favorite time frame. But you always want to set your higher time frame bias. So I start on the daily here and kind of find my order blocks and just kind of what I'm looking for here. So you want to take the last down candle before this large move up, which is like this black candle right here. This one right here. So then I'm going to go down to the 4 hour here and just to see what this looks like on the 4 hour. So yeah, that looks about right. These last down black candles, you can even constrict the order block down to just these down candles right here. And as you can see, it's pretty perfect. It tapped right into this order block, and this is what you want to see. You want to see a large wick from an order block. This gives you a lot of confirmation that there was a lot of volume here and just a lot of buying pressure to bring the price up here. So what you want to see to kind of confirm bullish order flow is that once you hit this, this zone of demand, you kind of start to generate a new zone of demand, right? So like this would be your new bullish order block if we see it move up. And generally what you want to see is price kind of come back down to fill up the rest of the orders for market makers. And this is kind of where you want to take your entry as well if you miss this entry on this order block. And if this happens, then that's like confirmation of bullish order flow. So now that we have this and we have a general idea that price is kind of on its way up, we are setting possibly a higher low here. Going to the 1 hour, we are setting higher lows. We actually have a small reversal on the 1 hour here. And if you guys watch any of my other videos, this is how I identify reversals. This is known as your sweep. So a lot of times retail will short early since, whatever indicators they're using or methods, tell them to short here, and then you'll get a sweep of liquidity. And this is known as a sweep, or if the candle wick is like really high, that's known as a raid candle. But then you also want something called a change of character. I denote it by a Y here. So on the 1 hour, if you have this sweep and change of character, it gives you some sort of confirmation that market's actually headed down. So I think here we'd probably just fill this fair value gap right here and then probably see movement down, which would be perfect. And on the 1 hour you have another zone of demand here. So this is something you can look for as an entry here. Something like that is kind of what I'd be looking for if I were looking for a long. And yeah, I think long trades at this very moment is really good just because of how much Bitcoin dropped, and just how much just the whole crypto market has dropped so far. So go back to the 4 hour and just find some other confluences. Let's do this. So we're gonna see, I'm gonna try to set up a short trade more than anything here. So let's find some areas of confluence for an entry for a short. So I'm gonna take the fib from the top to the bottom, and you can see like this 0.786 fib lines up perfectly with this bearish order block right here. And I'm gonna change this to red since it's bearish, and I'll label it so we're on the 4 hourly, so an H4 order block. And you just also have this 0.786 fib as like a zone of confluence, And usually in my method of setting up trades, there's several things that I always want to see no matter what. You can see that this fair value gap was filled perfectly by this wick right here. That's almost a perfect fair value gap fill, but more than that, this wick probably generated a lot of liquidity right here. I'm just going to denote it by a few dollar signs. You know, there's a lot of stop losses set right here. That's one thing that I always look for before kind of setting up trades. On top of that, we have another fair value gap that exists right here. I'm gonna color this one kind of dark gray and call this a H4 fair value gap. Fair value gaps are just imbalances of buyers and sellers. So there's just more orders here that need to be filled. That's kind of what you can just see it as. On top of that, you see these relatively equal highs. These wicks right here, those are always prime targets for price action 2. Called relatively equal highs. And then something I would also want to look for is the VWAP. So I have the VWAP set to the weekly right now, and looks like we're gonna reject it off the weekly VWAP. But since we're kind of setting up a swing trade, I'm gonna change this to either the month or the quarterly. So on the month, that's pretty good. You can see that the standard deviation band is kind of up here. So I'm gonna just draw a line here, kind of where the standard deviation is. I'm gonna call that monthly VWAP upward deviation, like that. And then we're also gonna check the quarterly VWAP, and that is also kind of nice. So the quarterly VWAP, the actual band is like right here. I'll just call that quarterly VWAP, just like that. I'm gonna hide the VWAP here. So this is like giving us a lot of confluence here. And since we've dropped down from a range, this is known as distribution. So this is accumulation, this is markup, or accumulation, manipulation, markup, and then distribution, and then this is markdown. So if you're unfamiliar with that, make sure to check out some other videos too, because I explained that more in depth. But for now, we'll just kind of go over the short trade. So we're going to take this range that formed up here. Usually after large moves, you end up forming ranges. So make sure that's right there. To like this candle here. See, that's pretty perfect. You can see the POC is like right here. So I'm going to denote that with another line here. Call that range POC. Then I'm going to hide this the fixed range volume profile. So yeah, already there's just so much confluence in this area that I'm looking at. So yeah, I mean, just by this, you know, I'd be pretty convinced to take a short trade around here. But like I did say, usually after large moves down, you don't see immediate V-shaped recovery. Sometimes you do, but you know, I'd say for the most part, from my experience, you know, you end up developing a range. And then when you start to break out of this range, you know, that's when you can kind of look at these areas of interest. So at this moment, I don't think it's immediately headed up here, but you know, you never know, there might be a chance. And if we do, this is definitely an area that I'm looking at for a short trade here. Let's see. So yeah, if I were to set up a trade here, definitely put a short trade at the start of this order block, and my stop at this swing high right here. Or you can set it at the very edge of the order block as what's it called, if price goes past the order block, your trade's invalidated. So and in terms of take profit, it's kind of hard to judge now since we're not up here or anywhere near here, so we don't really know where the spots of liquidity are. Just like how we're setting up this entry, that's how you want to set up your take profits as well. It's on zones of demand if you're taking a short trade. So, you know, I'd probably set it here. If this ended up going straight up, I'd probably set up, might take profit like right here, wherever it shot up from, as that would be like your new zone of demand. But yeah, in terms of price analysis on XRP, and pretty much just many of the large cap cryptos, you can kind of expect them to range for now. But I think best case scenario, we do come back down into some sort of pocket of demand, possibly the order block right here or the order block down here. So something like this. And then, we'll see movements back up and hopefully maybe hit the short trade right here and then set a higher low and then continue our uptrend. Ideally that's what we want, but the crypto space has been a little bearish, just a little bit, so yeah, I'm expecting lower prices, to be honest. So maybe after we come up here, we'll set a lower high and then we'll set a lower low here. Remember, when you set relatively equal lows, or relatively equal highs, they're very likely to get swept. And at this moment, we have several relatively equal lows, like right here. This is so many. So yeah, I would definitely kind of eye lower prices here on XRP. Yeah, definitely for sure. And things you always want to look for on reversals as well are, change of characters and sweeps. So how we went over that on the 1 hour for this sweep right here. You kind of want to do the same thing for your trade up here too. So on the 1 hour, probably on the 4 hours too here actually. Let me go to the 4 hour. Yeah, this is your sweep. So anyone who went long here, they went long a little too early, didn't get the sweep. So we get the sweep here, and the change of character is right here. It's kind of hard to see that line because of this other line. Let me try to move this one. Oh, maybe I never drew the line. So right here, this is known as your change of character. If we get it, I'm going to denote that by a Y. And what would confirm that change of character again is a candle up and a candle close past this. So I usually don't try to predict price action. I just react to it. I think that's the best way to trade. But just for the sake of this video, if I were to make a prediction, I think price is headed up to fill this fair value gap. It's going to come back down to fill some order of demand. And then we'll have bullish order flow, and then we'll hit this top H4 order block for a short here. This is just like my short-term analysis of XRP, and I can kind of see this happening, late November to maybe like early December. Yeah. If price kind of is really volatile, you can maybe even see this late November. So yeah, this is kind of like my just short-term analysis or technical analysis of XRP. So this is a project that you guys are really bullish on, as I'm pretty bullish on XRP as well. Definitely not bad prices to DCA, honestly. Every time it kind of goes into these order blocks, but I do see lower prices overall for the market. So, definitely don't empty your bags. Remember, market makers have the deepest pockets, and that's usually how they win the game. So yeah, my condolences to anyone who's lost money in the last, couple of days, or just in the bear market in general. Hopefully, if you guys follow my channel, you can make a lot of that money back, as, pretty much even experienced trader, we're all down on money, right? Especially if you have investments done, or investments in like Bitcoin or any other equities or assets. So yeah, it's a rough time for everyone. So yeah, if you guys want to try to make your bag back, make sure to join my Discord and follow the YouTube, and yeah, hopefully a lot of my info can help you guys kind of recover. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed my content, just like, subscribe, drop a comment, and ring the notification bell. A lot of my content is pretty time sensitive like this, so yeah, definitely having the notification bell on and being subscribed is pretty helpful. So or just join the Discord, as I give a lot of these trade callouts out there. So, and a lot of the people in the Discord are making a good amount of money. So So yeah, thank you guys for listening, and I'll see you guys next time.